Hey, my sixth grade scholars, I want to go over lesson one with you today. So we're under unit one, lesson one. And specifically, I want to look at SAS block two. So once you get it all finished, you're going to use the hand in button down here to turn this file in for a grade. But I want to take a minute and go over this with you. I know we've gone over some of this in class, but I wanted to create this video so you could pause this video at any time and review some of what we've talked about. So let's go over our first problem. It says Maria and Stella look into prices for table rentals and find that tables rent for about $14.95 each. Each table seats 8 people and includes 8 chairs. The budget allows for $435 for table rentals. The question is, how many tables with chairs can they rent? So we're going to take 400, our problem is $435 because that's their total budget. And we want to divide that by the price of each table. Now, instead of using $14.95, because it says it's about, so we're estimating here, I know that $14.95 is pretty close to $15. And so we're going to use $15 as our division problem. So our problem is 435 divided by 15. Now to solve this, we could simply use a division box, and I'm going to use what's called partial quotients division. So we looked at the 3 strategies in class, and this is the one that is easiest for me because I can break down a longer problem like this and break it into simpler problems. For example, we know that division is just the opposite of multiplication, and they're so connected. I know that 15 times 10 is 150. I'm just moving the decimal place over with multiples of 10. So of course, then 15 times 20, because 150 is still pretty far away from 435. 15 times 20, I'm just doubling this. 10 doubled is 20, so 150 doubled would be 300. I know that that gets me pretty close to 435. I know I can't do 15 times 30 because 15 times 30 would be 300 plus 150, so that would be 450. Well, I only have a budget of $435, so I can't use that method. This might not be helpful yet because that's too small. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, okay, if I put 20 groups of 15 in, that's going to subtract 300 from my total, and I got that right from this problem here. So I can subtract 300 from my total 435. 5 minus 0, of course, is 5. 3 minus 0 is 3, and 4 minus 3 is 1. Now I have 135. Well, 150 is now too large. So if I say, well, what's 15 times 9? So let me go backwards from 150 by 15s, and because these are my 15s facts. So 15 times 9, I'm going to subtract 15 from this. So 150 minus 10 would be 140, minus 5 more would be 135. Now, I'm going to use that because I see that I have 135 left. So if I put in 9 more groups of 15, I know that's going to subtract 135 now from my total, giving me a remainder of 0. Now, I need to add these together. So I put in 20 groups of 15 and 9 groups of 15. So adding these together, of course, gives me 29. So when I go back to my question, how many tables with chairs can they rent? They can rent 29 tables with chairs. Now there's multiple ways you can solve this division problem. I want you to choose the way that makes the most sense to you. So as we go down here, this problem number 2 shows you the 3 different methods of dividing 435 divided by 15. So we're going to look at John's method, Laura's method, and Steve's method. So 435 is known as my dividend. That's going to go here as my total, 435. That's going to go inside here in my division box on Laura's method, and then on Steve's method, it's going to go right here. And then I'm dividing, or my divisor is 15. I'm going to put that over here on this side for John's method. John is using what's known as the area model. And then Laura's method, this is going to go here. And Steve's method, the 15 or the divisor, will go there. Now I want to solve. I want to find my quotient for each of these. So I can break this up into a much easier problem when I look at it this way. Instead of saying 435, I want to break that into two smaller sections. So let's count by 15s, or let's do some 15 facts over here. So I know that 15 times 10 again is 150. So 15 times 20 would be 300. 15 times 30 would be 450. So again, I know that that is too much. This might be helpful later, but I want to focus in on my 15 times 20. So if I put 20 groups of 15 in, that's going to be 300 total for this section, for just this section in my area model, 300. So I'm going to subtract 300 from 435. So 435 minus 300. I know that 5 minus 0 is 5, 3 minus 0 is 3, 4 minus 3 is 1. So now I have my 135. And I know from above that 15 times 9 is 135. So I know that there's going to be 9 more groups of 15 to give me my 135. And I can subtract that from my total, giving me a remainder of 0. And I simply add these together to get 29. Laura's method is what I did above. So Laura's method is the partial quotients. And so I can think about these problems here and I can say, well, 15 times 20 is 300. So if I put in 20 groups of 15, I can subtract 300 from my larger group, giving me a remainder, giving me 135 left. And I know that 15 times 9 is 135. So I'm going to put 9 more groups of 15 into this, which gives me 135. Subtract that out, and I have 0. Now, Steve's method might have been what you were probably taught in 3rd or 4th grade. It's called the standard algorithm. And so this is where I say, okay, does 15 go into 4? And it doesn't, so I'm going to put a 0 there. Does 15 go into 43? It does. It goes in. I need to think about and count by 15. So 15, 30, 45, and that's too much. So I know that 15 goes in 2 times to 43. 2 times 15 is, of course, 30. So I will subtract this out. 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. And then I'm going to bring my 5 down in the standard algorithm method. So I'm left with 135. So I still need to go back up here to my 15 times 9. So it goes in 9 times. 9 times 15 is 135. Subtract that out and get 0. So in all 3 methods, I'm still getting an answer of 29. When I add these 2 together, I'll have 29 and 29 here, but 3 different ways of doing it. Problem number 3 says the party budget allows $336 for cookies. Gilbert and Brad find a bakery that sells a box of 20 cookies for $11.75. About how many boxes of cookies can they afford to buy? Choose one or more of the division methods you've learned about to solve the problem. And so what I want to do is I want to, first of all, round this number up. So instead of $11.75, I'm going to round that up to 12 because that's pretty close to $12. So my division problem is 336 divided by 12. And that's going to give me a quotient. So I think I'm going to solve this using my partial quotients again. So 336. And up here, that would be Laura's method. So I'm using Laura's method. I'm dividing by 12. So I want to think about 12 times 10. That's going to be 120. 12 times 20 is going to be 240. 12 times 30 is going to be 360, which I know is too much now. So I'm going to focus on 12 times 20. So if I put 20 groups of 12 in, I can subtract 240, giving me 6 minus 0, which would be 6, and then 33 minus 24, or I can say 3 minus 4 and need to borrow, giving me 13 minus 4, which is 9, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So 96. Well, now I have my 12 times 10, which is too large. So if I go 12 times 9, I need to subtract 12 from 120. So 20 minus 10 would be 10. 2 more would be 8. So 108, and that's too large. So 12 times 8 is going to be 12 less than this. So 8 less would give me to 100 even. And so then I just need to count back 4 more, which would give me 96. And there's my magic number. So I'm going to put it in 8 times. 8 times 12, of course, is 96. When I subtract that out, I get 0. And I simply need to add these together, giving me 28. So they can buy 28 boxes of cookies. Now you're going to use this same method here on the next page, on page 3. So you already know, here are your numbers that you're going to use. We've already worked with these numbers. And so you know that you can say that 12 times 20 is 240. So if I put 20 groups in, this is going to give me 240. Now we're using that first method, the area model. And I know that that smaller one is going to be 12 times 8. So this is 12 times 8, which would give me 96. 20 plus 8 is 28. They can buy 28 boxes of cookies. This is going to be solved in a similar way. This is the method that we used. So this is simply going to be 20 groups of 12, giving me, let me look back up here, 240. When I subtract that out, I'm going to be left with 96. Again, I put 8 more groups of 12 in, giving me 96. I subtract and get 0. 8 plus 20 is 28. So they can buy 28 boxes of cookies. And then problem number 5 is using the standard algorithm. It's the same problem. So 12 goes into 3 0 times. 12 goes into 33 how many times? So this is where I need to count by 12s. And 12 goes into 33 2 times. So it doesn't go in 3 times. So it will go in twice. 2 times 12 is 24. So now I want to subtract 24 from 33. So I can think 24 to 30 is 6 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to be 9 there. And then I want to bring down my 6, 96. How many times does 12 go into 96? 8 times. 8 times 12 is, of course, 96. I subtract this out and get 0, and I still have an answer of 28. Now, problem 6, there are 3 problems for you to do. And you can use any of these methods, just as long as you show your steps and use multiplication to actually check your answer. So we'll do this first one together. 322 divided by 14. I need to think about my 14 facts. So I know that 14 times 10 is 140. So 14 times 20 is going to be 280. And that's pretty close to 322. So I'm going to write this out like this. 322 divided by 14. I'm going to put it in 20 times. 20 times 14, of course, is 280. And I want to subtract that out. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 minus 8, I know that I need to borrow. So I can do that like this. 12 minus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be 4. And 2 minus 2 is 0. Now 14 goes into 42 how many times? Well, it's way less than 10. So if I think about 14 doubled, 14 times 2 is going to be 28. And I know that I'm getting closer. So let's try 14 times 3. So if I think 28 plus 14, I know that 28 plus 14 is going to be 42. So, oh, there's my number. So if I put in 3 more groups of 14, that's going to be exactly 42. I can get a remainder of 0, and I just need to add these together. So 3 plus 20 is 23. So my answer here is 23. So I want you to do B and C on your own. Use the method that makes the most sense to you. And finally, number 7, the area of a wall mural is 299 square feet. The height is 13 feet. What is the length of the mural? This is the area model. So if the whole area of the wall is 299 square feet and the height is 13 feet, you're trying to solve for this. So what is the length of the wall? So your problem becomes 299 divided by 13. So 13 times 2 would be 26. 13 times 10 would be 130. 13 times 20 would be 260. That gets me pretty close. So I'm going to put in 20 groups of 13 and subtract 260 from my total. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 6 is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 3. And 2 minus 2, of course, is 0. Now I need to think about 39 is pretty close to this. So if I add another 13 to 26, think about 26 plus 10 would be 36, 37, 38, 39 is my 13. So there is, I'm sorry, this is 13 times 3. So 13 times 3 is 39. So put in 3 more groups. It's going to take away 39 from my total, giving me a remainder of 0. Simply add these together. 3 plus 20 is 23. So this is going to be 23. And what I did is I took the whole area, which was 299 square feet, and I broke it up into 20 square, or I'm sorry, I broke it up into 260 square feet. And this was my 20. And then I said, all right, there is 39 square feet here in this area. This is why this is called area model. And so this is 3 times 13. So 20 plus 3 is 23. So I hope this helped. Make sure that you get all of these notes down and save this document and turn it in. Remember, you're going to go over here to the download button. And when you click on download, download it to your Google Drive with annotations, hit begin export, and then you'll turn it in PowerSchool. Have a great day.